Hey everybody, welcome back, Lions of Judah. I hope you're rebuilding your temple today. You're breathing in the branch. You're believing all the stories that he wrote over hundreds and thousands of years. How did he do it? He has his language, and he only speaks to the ones that believe that the thoughts are not their own, that he's communicating with a food offering, because you can add fire to wood, hemp, cannabis, canvas, cannabosum, and have a flood of thoughts. And it's the voice that says, hey, your keys are in the other room, and don't you remember this? Remember that? Remember that? Remember that? Remember that? Welcome to your memory. It loves you. It'll give you positive ones if you turn and then respectfully accept that the seed is the word and it's planted in you and you're destined for it and it can save you. So you want to offer your spiritual sacrifices and crave pure C&H, pure spiritual food, pure spiritual milk. Not from the breast milk, but from the sweet blossom of Canaan. You're healing my bosom, my bosom. Arms right here, hugs, right in the embrace of your father or mother. Remember, if you were a child and you were scared, you'd run to your parents. You'd hide behind their legs. You would be scared. Watch a kid react to a stranger or react to a loved one. Okay, that is the relationship between you and your inner self and you and God, and the distance between the mind and the desires for what we know is to be normal in the world. So, the guy is talking to himself like the burning bush. So he's high on his abundant grain and his possessions. And at that point, he's having a conversation, and it's outlined right here. I'll say to yourself, I'll say to myself. He thought to himself, because we think to ourselves all the time. Well, that's the chemical reactions. When you add fire to wood, you get a flood of them, and it's called the endocannabinoid system with CB1 and CB2, and they're like, hey, how you doing? I'm good. Good. What do you think about that? I'm like, what do I think about that? Oh, I think that's a good idea. And I've been saying for a few years, I'm like, who came up with the idea that it was good to create man? God. And I'm like, great, because God also came up with the idea to have man saved through the salvation, which is the salve a son, salvage a son, right? With his aroma that is pleasing. So we serve him as Jacob's descendants. We believe in Abraham's bosom from the land of Canaan. So, he says, I know what I'll do. I'll build bigger ones, and I'll store up my surplus grain, which is 7 heads of grain growing on a single stalk from Genesis 41:5. Then you can look at the menorah, and you can look at the incense and the resin and the oil, and it's all buds and branches from one seed at Leviticus 19:19. And I'll say to myself in my own head, I have plenty of grain, an abundance, a great harvest. Take life easy. Eat, drink, and be merry. And I just had a friend say that about 15 days ago. And I know he can hear this. At that point, he's going to fucking yell at me. But so what? He said, now that I'm retired and in Vegas doing slot machines, now what? Literally, he had a heart attack in his sleep because he's a great guy. But at that point, the decision was made to go from one world to the next. So I kid you not, in the next 20 seconds, please turn on your thinking cap. Activate your brain with some oil. And God said, you fool, this very night your life will be demanded from you. So offer up and ship some grain across the sea into the waters above. Then, who will get what you have prepared for yourself? No one else gets to receive it. And this is how it will be with whoever stores up things for themselves, but is not rich toward God, which is Genesis 27:27, when it says Isaac gives the blessing, and this is the blessing again. He says, wait, you smell like my son. Ah, the smell of my son is like a field blessed by God. May he give you earth's richness and heaven's dew and the manna that turns into the branch, that turns into the guy speaking about the branch, and with a bunch of parables, I can answer all the questions. Baruch Hashem, we'll end this video in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.